So brush knee, we know that this is a multitasking. Okay, and I'm going to come forward like you. And after that, we're going to actually hold our ball again, and we're going to part the wild horse's mane. And the reason why I'm moving ahead is not necessarily because you've accomplished everything, but in our warm-up exercise, we already are parting the wild horse's mane. And it helps us to not only vary our movements, not to complicate you, because the principles of Tai Chi remain the same. And when I say that, you saw that with my feet, I was always on a T, then I was on an L, then I was on a bow, and then I was on a sit back. But you also notice that my hands, I always held my ball in the correct posture, and I centered it. And I also, when I came out and I parted the wild horse's mane, that advancing hand centers my body. It's never on the side or up too high. It's right at eye level, and it's the center of my body. At the same time, my hips were centering towards the front rather than a misalignment that would cause knee problems. So in this case, I'm centering my hand, but my body is facing, the center of my body is not towards that hand. And as a result, this is a misalignment that could cause long-time knee injuries, okay? So we want to take special care in how we align ourselves, especially our feet. But in doing that, we then have to address our hips and waist as well as our hands, because it's a total body movement, okay? So here we're going to now learn parting of the wild horse's mane. We started this in our warm-up. I'm going to ask you for good Tai Chi posture. I'm going to ask you for a T stance. I'm going to ask you to hold your ball with the left hand on the bottom and the right hand on the top. At this point, I want to let you relax your hands, and I want to talk about something. If we know that the left foot is the advancing hand, our left hand has to be on the bottom. Think about that. If my left foot is the advancing foot, because there's hardly any weight, the bottom hand advances, so that has to be my left foot. If I have it here, how can my bottom hand advance on my right hand? It's very awkward. So whenever you're rooted down on one foot, the advancing foot has no weight, okay? That's important to know, because if you walk and you have 2 feet that have weight, most likely you're going to have a hard time advancing, and you will trip. So if my left foot has no weight, and we know that the bottom hand has to advance, so this means advance. This means not advance, because the left hand is advancing. Okay, so that's the scenario right there. So if the left hand is going to advance and it's the bottom hand, it makes sense that it comes out this way. So what am I saying? I'm saying something counter. I'm saying if my left foot has to advance and my bottom hand advances, because those are principles, how can my right hand be the bottom hand? It can't advance and look nice. My hands are tangled up. So we go back to the premise that whatever is the advancing foot, and this time it's our left foot, then our left hand has to be on the bottom, because that's the advancing hand. All right? So we're going to have to think about that, and then as we do it, it'll be more apparent. In doing so, I'm going to turn this way. In doing so, the bottom hand advances, and the left hand is the left hand, and the left hand is the weightless foot. The other hand has a very important role. It has to sit to the side of your thigh in a cocked manner. So when I say cocked, it doesn't mean drop this way. It doesn't mean drop any other way. There is a bend in the elbow, a slight bend, and it's held here to the side. This will help you with balancing, okay? As small as it is, it helps you to stay in your Tai Chi posture and balance. Another way of understanding this movement is that whenever you're in your advancing like a parting of the horse's mane, this back leg can never have a buckle in it. So I'm going to do it wrong just to show you. What happens is that I shifted, as small as it is, shifted out of my Tai Chi posture. So in order to adhere to that silver thread, I'm going to advance, I'm going to use that energy, come up, and I'm going to straighten out that back leg as best as I can. And you notice that this hand is not just drooping, it's giving me support. It's almost as if it's a counterbalance, okay? So let's try it, let's try it. Good Tai Chi posture, rooting down on our right foot, that means we're grounded, our weight is on our right foot. Then we're going to take care of our feet, we're going to pivot, and we're going to make a T. We know that our left foot now has hardly any weight. To match the feet alignment, our left hand carries the bottom of the ball 2 inches below your navel in a curved hand position, finger position. The right hand holds the top of the ball about chest level. Now we hear me saying, the bottom hand advances. The left hand is going to is weightless, it's going to advance out and to the side to an L stance. The left hand, as soon as the left foot starts to move, it starts to advance also. The energy comes from your right leg. So the power of your chi comes up from the foot of your right or rooted foot, comes all the way up beyond your hips and waist, and then it comes across your chest to advance to the hands and fingers. Okay, here we go. Holding our ball on a T step. We're going to step out and to the side, moving our hands, part the wild horse's mane, center the front hand, making sure that our knee and our toe is in line, not one over the other. Making sure our back knee is straight out like a slide. Then you're going to sit back without moving your hands. Then you're going to pivot on your heel. At this position, your right hand now holds the bottom of the ball, and your right foot is weightless. That's a pattern now. We know that the bottom hand advances. It's in sync with the right foot that's going to advance. We're going to move into an L stance. Out and to the side, move your hands also, cock that left hand, make that adjustment in the back foot, center your right hand as if it were serving a snack by parting the wild horse's mane. Then check your own parameters. Is your right knee in line with your right toe and not beyond or falling short? Is your right hand centering your body slightly below eye level? And is your snack being served to the person in front of you? Is your left hand to the side of your hips, and is it holding yet another top of a ball? If so, you can sit back. And when you sit back, the weight is all on the back foot, and your heel comes up from your front foot. Then you're going to pivot. This is a drill. Your left hand now becomes the bottom, holding the bottom of your ball. Your right hand holds the top of the ball. You're in your T stance. After the T stance, you're going to go into an L stance. You're going to move out, advance your bottom hand, part the wild horse's mane. Checking to see your knees and toes are in line, that your silver silk, silver thread is holding you upright. And seeing that your right hand is cocked as if it were holding the top of a ball, and the right back foot has no buckle in the knee. If so, you can sit back. Sort of like a release of energy there. Then you're going to pivot on your left foot. Your right hand now holds the bottom of the ball. Your right foot is weightless and forming the capital letter T. You're going to come out and to the side with your foot, advance the bottom hand, and serve your snack, checking for parameters. Front hand in the middle, knee and toes in line, back knee stretched out, left hand cocked to the side of your body. Hips and waist to the advanced foot, in line with that advanced foot. Then you're going to sit back. Then you're going to twist. Then your left hand becomes the bottom of the ball, left foot and the weightless foot on the tee, right hand holding the top of the ball. Left foot out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, right hand on the bottom, right foot on the tee, out and to the side, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance, out and to the side, L stance, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance, L stance, out and to the side, part the wild horse's mane, checking that back knee, sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance. Root down. You remember that in Tai Chi, we move only with a weightless foot to be safe. We also know that Tai Chi is good because whether we realize it or not, we're always in a semi-squat position. When we're in a semi-squat position rather than an upright position like this, we have the best use of our body that would help us with balancing. That silver thread is in place, our butts are tucked under, our chest is concave, and we're relaxed. But once we get out of our Tai Chi posture and we favor the front or back, then accidents can happen. But who's going to remember how to hold ourselves when you're walking out of here or in a rush to get to an appointment? No one's going to remind us, and you're not going to sit down and think, uh-oh, I'm out of Tai Chi posture. So what is it? What is the carryover from learning Tai Chi to everyday activities? It's a discipline. So what you do for an hour and build on what you have learned for an hour's time and what you take home and practice, that becomes something that you learn through your body and you apply it to everything you do without consciously, you may be aware of it, but not consciously calling yourself down to do it. However, it may get to a point where one of our other students, about 85 years old, was walking without a Tai Chi position. She caught herself because she tripped, and guess what she did? She brought herself back in a Tai Chi position, preventing that accident. Something kicks in, something triggers when the risk is there. Of course, it's not a guarantee, and even for myself or any of us who've taken for a while, it's not a guarantee. But it's something that we look forward to having as a security because we've entered this discipline and hopefully our body knows what to do. So if there is one most valuable thing that comes out of Tai Chi, is that you will learn about your body. I can't say that enough. You will learn how your body operates. You will learn the shortcomings, and you will learn to counter those shortcomings just with the application you learn in doing Tai Chi, okay? Although this may be just a drill and you seem to think maybe it's a little useless, believe me that as you get the drill down more readily, that helps you to build the strength that you need in not only your limbs and your hands and upper body, but your core muscles. And everything we do in Tai Chi revolves around the mental mindset and those areas in our body, all our muscles put together in one unified way. All right, what I want to do now is do the 10 form again, okay? And after that, I want to move into Tai Chi walk, and more on that in a little while. Okay? All right, good Tai Chi posture. Commencing form. Slowly drain the weight off our left foot, elevate our heel, put it on its sole, lift off the ground, open, toe down, sole down, arch down, heel down. Hands rotate to the middle of our thighs. We're going to take a deep breath in as we elevate both hands. At shoulder level, we're going to drop our shoulders, drop our wrists and our elbows, flex our knees. Left hand stays towards the middle of our body. Right hand is up higher. We're looking at it. Opening both palms, bringing it to the ear, turning our face, meeting in the middle, repulsing of the monkey, centering the front hand, opening both hands, looking up at the back hand, bringing it to our ear, turning our face, meeting in the middle, pushing and pulling. T-stance. Left hand by the waist, like in a parallel position, back hand or right hand higher. You're going to multitask. Out and to the side, turn your face, brush your knee, centering the front hand. Sit back, twist step, right hand towards the parallel to your waist on a T stance, back hand higher. L stance, out and to the side, ear, turn your face, brush your knee, straighten out the back knee. Sit back, twist step. Actually, let's do a drill. T stance, left hand to your waist, right hand higher. Bring it to your ear, L stance, turn your face, brush your knee, centering the front hand, cocking your left hand. Sit back, twist step, right hand to your waist, parallel on a T stance, looking at your back hand. Heel out, L stance, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, look at your back hand that's higher on a T stance. We're going to multitask. L stance, bring it to your ear, turn your face, adjust the back foot to a 45, brush your knee. Sit back, twist step, T stance, look at the back hand, out and to the side, turn your face, brush your knee. Sit back. That's the end of our drill for brush knee. Now we're going to hold our ball on a T stance. We're going to try to do a drill for parting of the wild horse's mane. We're going to do an L out and to the sides. We're going to serve our snack to our friend. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance, out and to the side. Bottom hand advances in sync with our right foot. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, hold our ball in a T stance. Advance your left hand and left foot. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball in a T stance. Out and to the side, L stance. Bow stance. Sit back, hold your ball in a T stance, and we'll stop. When we talk about a T stance, we know that it looks like this. But when we do an L, I have to always remind even more experienced students that the perfect L Tai Chi stance has to be out and to the side. It cannot be out and not to the side. So if it's out and to the side, it is way out, so that when you flatten out, there is a span between the 2 feet. If you are on a good T stance and you only go out and then you flatten out and then you pivot to part the wild horse's mane, right away my knees start to hurt. I'm not in good proper alignment. Okay? So let's just nail it down a little better. I said that this is a T stance. You're going to weight down on your right. The advancing foot is my left foot. I need to come out and to the side. Can you show me with your hands what your feet will do? To get to an L stance, you're coming out and to the side. Okay? When we do out and to the side, I don't mean for you to come out and then to the side in a rigid way. I want you to come in a rounded way, out and to the side. Okay, so big difference. I don't want you to come out that way and then come to the side. It's too hard. All you have to know is mentally, I need to end up over there. So you're going to lift out and to the side. Do I make myself clear? So when you finally get to this L stance, you look at your feet, you drag your left foot back, and if there is a space between 2 feet, you've done it correctly. If you drag it back and you bump or connect your feet, you didn't come out and to the side. You went out, but not to the side. So when we start to move and you see that it's not working, then you're going to have to quickly make that adjustment and stop, and don't go back on, don't continue on. Okay, so try to catch yourself. Once we learn the proper stance and we do it well, something goes on after we put hands on it. That's another layer of knowledge or task. Then once we put everything together and we're actually doing Tai Chi, if those alignments are not made early and ingrained, then they start to give way to other things because there's too many things going on in our mind. So that's where I'm coming from. I want you to lay the groundwork. I want you to practice so that when we do put motion to it and hands, it is already given that your feet are good, okay? All right. At the end of class, I always try to challenge you, okay? And this is how I want to challenge you. We're going to do Tai Chi walk. Tai Chi walk helps to build strength in our legs and limbs. It also addresses proper alignment, but it also gets us ready for later on when we do learn the 24, Yang 24, okay? So essentially, I want you to stand there and I want you to just watch what I do. When you watch what I do, I want you to look at my feet alignment and the familiarity with what I'm calling out, okay? So I'm in my good Tai Chi posture, and I have this time my hands at my waist. I'm going to pivot out as if I'm doing a twist step. I'm shifting my weight. I'm going to get ready for an L stance. You know that the L stance means out and to the side, in line with the tile of the floor or parallel to the line of the floor. Then I'm going to do a bow stance, and I'm going to straighten out my back knee, adjusting my back foot to a 45-degree angle. This is my sit back. I'm going to do a twist step. I pivot on my heel. I shift my weight. I'm doing an L stance. I want to come out and to the side, and I want my foot, when it flattens, to be parallel to the line of the tile of the floor or on a line. Then I'm going to adjust that 45-degree angle this way. This is perfect alignment, okay? Do several more so you can understand. This is my sit back. You saw that everything goes back. The weight goes back because I want to advance this foot. I'm going to pivot out 45 degrees. I'm going to shift my weight. I'm going to do an L stance so that my heel goes down, but when I flatten out, the foot should be parallel to a line or on a line, straightening out that back foot, making the necessary adjustment for a 45, making sure my knee and my toe is not beyond. Sit back, twist step, shift my weight, L stance, out and to the side, rotate, make that adjustment, bow stance. I'm going to do one more and then you're going to do it with me. Sit back, twist step, shift your weight, L stance, only on your heel, rotate, bow stance correctly, okay? Hands at your waist this time in a good Tai Chi posture. 50-50, evenly distributed weight. You're going to pivot on the heel of your right foot, and you're going to turn into that direction with your hips and your waist. Put it flat, put all the weight there. Your left foot now can advance in an L stance out and to the side on its heel. Turn facing downwards. Align your hips and waist. Adjust the back foot so that the knee has no buckle. Sit back. Twist step, that means come out. Shift your weight. L stance on a heel. Open the knees, rotate. Bow stance, straighten out the back knee. Sit back all the way. Twist step. Shift your weight. L stance on your heel. Make the adjustment, straighten out the back knee, bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Shift your weight. L stance, heel out, open the knees, rotate, bow stance. Sit back. Twist step. Shift your weight. Heel out in a L stance, rotate, stretch out the back knee, bow stance. Sit back, twist step, shift your weight, L stance, open the knees, rotate, stretch. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball, left hand on the bottom, right hand on the top. L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, right hand on the bottom to hold your ball. L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, left hand on the bottom to hold your ball. L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, hold your ball. L stance, part the wild horse's mane. Sit back, twist step, shift your weight. L stance, part the wild horse's mane. We're going to end with something funny and different. Half step forward, hold your ball, right hand on the bottom. Sit back on your back foot, bring up your right hand, bring up your left foot. White crane spreads its wings. Okay? So I don't